Welcome back, Dawg fans. We continue to look at each position room to get a peek into the depth chart. We'll also rate each room on a scale of 1 to 5 stars based on the depth of each position. I'm so excited today to look at the offensive skill rooms, the quarterback, the wide receiver, and the running backs with Big Luke's insider, Gregg Loudermilk, coming back for his second visit on Big Luke's Dog Beat. And Gregg's going to help us break this down. Gregg, great to have you back.
Great to be back, Luke. Exciting to hear that, getting all these views, and looking forward to talking about the offense.
Absolutely. And Gregg, again, is a damn good dog, was with us during the 1980 championship run, so it's great to see him. Gregg, first thing I want to do for our viewers is we're going to talk about being explosive a lot with these offensive players.
Yep.
And a lot of folks ask me, Big Luke, what is explosive mean? Explosive means for a run, usually most teams say anything over 10 or 12 yards is an explosive run. And then for a pass, most teams look at anything between 16 and 20 yards to say is an explosive pass play. Now, Gregg, you and I both know Mike Bobo likes the explosive plays where he throws it for about 4 yards and they run for 20 or more yards. So that's counted explosive also.
Yeah, without a doubt. But we did the offensive line earlier, and we all know everything starts up front. And I've got 3 keys to the offensive line and how the offense is going to have those big explosive plays. Number 1 is protect Gunner Stockton. Number 2 is open holes for a running game, because we do have some very talented backs. And number 3 is protect Gunner Stockton. I know that we'll get into the quarterbacks in just a minute, but that's so key to this.
Those are great 3 keys. And again, you're exactly right. We will rated our offensive line as high at a 4.2 out of 5. So I still have confidence in the depth of that offensive line and what they can do, and that they will be one of the deepest rooms at UGA. But again, injuries will always change that. So
Without a doubt.
let's keep them well, especially during fall camp. And let's get to through those first 3 games and get ready for Oklahoma. We do have
Absolutely.
some breaking news though, Gregg. Just came out last night. It's been done for a while, but just released last night. All right, you Bobo haters, get lined up. Mike Bobo was granted an extension along with Glenn Schumann, both our offensive and defensive coordinators, through 2029. So they're going to average about $2.3 million a year. I think it's great. Gregg, what's your feelings on Bobo and Schumann getting extended?
Well, I agree on both. I know that there are, like you said, a lot of haters out there of Mike Bobo, and I know that there are times that we all as Georgia fans get frustrated with some of the play calls. But you know what? If Kirby believes, I believe, because I believe in Kirby Smart. I know that, he and Bobo go back a long way. But at the same time, I do think that look, we can't argue with success. We've had success. And I know we haven't had, look, we lost the game, a playoff game against Ole Miss. It wasn't our offense's fault. We gave up big plays on the defensive side. So, look, and Schumann, look, I think he's a really good coach. He's built good defenses, and I believe we will have a stellar one this year as well.
I agree 1,000%. And if anybody wants to go back and look at Bobo's stats, just look at how many games he's had over 40 points as a coordinator. And I know everybody gets frustrated with some of the calls, but that is Georgia offense. We're going to take what's given us, and we're going to keep moving those sticks, and we're going to keep pushing down the field. But also, Gregg, I want to let everybody know the magazines are out. If you hadn't gotten your Phil Steele yet, and you hadn't gotten your Lindy's, those are my 2 recommendations. Go pick them up. I love the paper copy. Phil Steele has us ranked very high. I think number 2 in the nation. And Phil Steele, his power ratings were at number 3 behind Notre Dame and Oregon. But I think overall he has Georgia ranked at number 2 in the nation. Lindy's has got us at 6. So The magazines are out, Greg. Do you go get the magazines still?
I usually pick up one or two every year. I think I still have them all. But look, we got a really tough schedule this year, and I can understand somebody may be picking us out of the top five, but at the same time, I just don't think that's going to happen. I do think we are at least a top five team. We have a tough schedule going to Bama and Ole Miss, and we have Oklahoma at home. But I still believe that we are going to be at least a top five team, and I have even greater hopes and aspirations for them as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna go ahead and say we're gonna make a national championship run this year, and I think it's gonna be legitimate. I thought last year we really were over our skis in performance. We did a lot better than what we had. We've got the experience this year to make a bigger run. So, big league dog fans, as Greg said earlier, we're getting thousands and thousands of views. We need you to hit that subscribe button so we can keep bringing you great content. And please, we love the comments. We are going to do some questions and answers, and we will respond to the comments just like we did on our last episode when people are asking about recruiting. We will respond to your comments, so please leave them for us today. And Greg, I got to take a second to acknowledge our sponsors, White and Choate Law Firm in Cartersville, Georgia. White and Choate is a full-service law firm that provides representation to local and national businesses and individual clients throughout North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. They specialize in helping personal injury victims and individuals seeking compensation for work-related accidents. Go see Harry, Jay, or Lottie, who are all damn good dogs for your legal needs to maximize your opportunity and minimize your risk. And just a plug for White and Choate, they do a lot of work for public entities too. So anyone out there, dog fans that need any legal help, go to White and Choate. All right, Greg, you ready to dig in?
Let's do it, bro.
All right, let's start with quarterbacks. We all know it's the Gunner and Stockton show. We all hear great things about Gunner, and he's fresh off the Manning camp. What do you have on us with Gunner?
Agree. Gunner is the key. He's the key to our success. Like I said earlier, we got to protect him. We got to protect him. We got to keep him healthy. We got to give him time to throw the ball. We got to open up holes so our running game can be there. But at the same time, I'm concerned about the room a little bit. And the only reason I do believe that there's a lot of talent there with Puglisi, with Montgomery, even Hezekiah Millender, who had a really good spring. I think it's going to be we don't have these guys. They don't have enough. I know they get a lot of reps in practice, but at the same time, that's not game conditions. And we got to hopefully get them a lot of time, whoever number 2 and number 3 are, in whatever order. We need to get them game experience. So those first 2 games of the season are going to be big. Let's keep Gunner safe. Let's get some big leads and let those guys get out there and get game experience. And we just got to give them time to develop. And I believe that there's going to be a big battle between Puglisi and Montgomery for number 2. I think Montgomery had a little bit better spring game, so I'm interested to see. I'm not giving up on Puglisi, don't get me wrong, but I think it'll be a battle for number 2.
I think you're exactly right. And there's a lot of talk out there about what Georgia's going to do after Gunner next year. And I think what the Ryans do are going to determine that, especially in these first 2 or 3 games, if they get significant playing time. And that's going to be interesting. Do we go the transfer portal to bridge before we get the 5-star recruit in that's coming in 28? The key to it is how those Lions perform early in the season to see what's going to happen next year. Now, getting back to this year, I think you made a great point. I think Gunner's got to have the time when he goes back to make the 1, 2, 3 reads. And I think that's where he can make his biggest improvement. I also think Gunner's got to do a little better job at recognizing um, the 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 scheme the defense is in at snap and checking out of it. I think he did. He had some games where he was just unbelievable at it, and
Yep.
some where he was just he he looked a little bit flat on. So I'm going to say Gunner Lindy's has got Gunner at number 16 over the nation. I think he'll be a lot higher than that. I have no problem with Gunner leading us in the quarterback room, and he can make all the throws. So
Without a
no
doubt.
concern there.
Yeah, go back and look at that Tennessee game when he threw the long pass to start the game, and then threw the long pass to get us tied to go to overtime. So yeah, he's got a lot of skills. He's mobile. I do think he's a smart quarterback and does have all those reads. And look, as we're about to get into, he's got a lot of weapons.
Absolutely. And Phil Steele does, which was surprising to me. Phil Steele has the UGA quarterback room rated number 4, calling the two Ryan solid. So I hope he's right. I haven't seen it yet, but I hope Phil Steele's right about that. And also, Big League Dog fans, when you hear us say rooms, why do we say rooms? They actually have physical rooms inside the facilities where quarterbacks go, where running backs go. Someone asked me that. Why do y'all call them rooms? And that's where the word room comes from. Is they actually have physical rooms. They go sit in for hours and hours studying tape and going over their assignments together is a position. So that was interesting to me.
Well
Greg, let's
stated.
move to running backs. What do we see out of the Georgia running backs this year?
I think we've got a deep room. Running backs take a lot of pounding, and you got guys running up the middle, you got them going wide, you got them coming out of the backfield for passes, and they're going to take their shots. We've seen it. We saw Nate get banged up. We saw Chauncey Bowens get banged up. But having the depth that we have now with Frazier, Bowens, Dowdle, the transfer from Kentucky, Dwight Phillips, Bo Walker, Jay Lamar, I think there's a lot of speed. We've got, again, the depth. We've got breakaway ability, tough runners between the tackles. And again, we've got some guys that can catch the ball in space and get them in space and, really get some yards after catch, which is important.
Well, Chauncey Bowens, we all know Nate Frazier. We all know he's the 5-star, he's the bell cow. But I'm going to tell you what, when Chauncey Bowens was going last year, he was very impressive. I know he got dinged up and couldn't go for a while and then really never got back into form. But the Nate Frazier Chauncey Bowens show should be fun to watch with zone runs and different type of formations. And I'm telling you what, keep your eye on Jay Lamar. I know he's a freshman, but I think he's explosive and can do a lot of damage and give us a lot more depth. Uh, Again, Bo Walker should be someone also. And Dowd was impressive in the spring game, so we'll see how he comes out this year. But I feel great about our running back room, Greg.
I do too. I really do. Like I said, we've got depth, which is extremely important. And I think they just have a lot of talent.
And Phil still has them ranked 6th in the nation, which there's a lot of good running back rooms out there in the nation. So I thought that was a very encouraging sign that he
Agree.
sees depth in our running back position. All right. We got to talk about those tight ends, that freak show at tight end, Greg. What do you see in there?
That's a great way to put it. Definitely freak show. You've just got so much depth and talent, and these guys can do a lot of different things. We can provide a lot of different looks because of all the talent there. And look, you got Lawson Lucky, who has been around. He'll be a senior, and he makes great catches. He runs good routes. He's a great blocker. And then you got guys like Lance Williams, Ethan Barbour. They both played as freshmen. Barbour, I think, started in the first game last year and until he got hurt. Jaden Riddell had a great spring. I think he has come a long way. He will be in his third year. And you got Caden Prothro, who we'll talk about some more too. He is just a beast, a big guy, can do a lot of things, and I think we'll probably see him somewhere else too. He's still listed as in tight end, but he's also listed in another position that we'll talk about. And then there's Colton Heinrich, who made a really nice catch in the spring game. So again, a lot of talent, and we can really have a lot of flexibility in how we run our offense as because of all that talent. And we can have a lot of different matchups for the defense to be worried about. Again, yards after catch. And the thing that's also always important and impressive with Georgia tight ends is their blocking ability. So that gives us a lot of weapons. And this is just, I just can't believe how we continue to recruit tight ends the way we do. And we also know that we've got a 5-star coming next year as well. So excited.
Yeah, the two people that I think's going to really jump out. Well, it's hard to say. Lawson Lucky is going to be huge. His blocking skills are going to be huge. We saw Jaden Rydell. We talked a lot about Jaden Rydell and his ability to be a little mini Brock Bowers. And I don't say that casually. I think he's that good. But Elias Williams and Ethan Barbour are monsters and are going to be matchup nightmares
Yep.
out there. Again, if we can get Gunner the time to do 3-4 step drops and hit those guys either in the flats or coming over the middle, I think it's gonna be explosive. I'm gonna save this comment till we get to the wide receiver room because Greg, I know where you're going. So let's jump right
Yep.
into the wide receivers.
Okay, wide receivers. So at the X, we've got Isaiah Canyon, transfer from Georgia Tech, C.J. Wiley, Thomas Blackshear, Ryan Mosley. At the Z, we've got London Humphreys, Talyn Taylor, Landon Rodan, Craig Dandridge, Tyler Williams, Jeremy Bell. And in the slot, we've got Sokovi White-Helton, Caden Prothro, and also Dallas Dickerson. You know, we lost a lot of talent last year. We a lot of production from last year, but you know, I'm just really encouraged by the group as a whole. I know we got some young guys, and we got the transfer, but when you look at like, I think Canyon and Humphreys are both solid. Humphreys has that. He's got great hands. He's got breakaway speed. We saw that several times over the last couple of years. He's one that called that pass I was just referring to at the Tennessee game. I believe Talyn Taylor is going to really have a breakout. I mean, he was a 5-star, one of the most highly recruited wide receivers coming out of high school. I know everybody points to that drop against Alabama, but you know what? One of their 5-star receivers dropped a bomb too. So I think there's too much on that. And you know good and well this guy has been working his tail off to get ready for this year. So I think he's a great downfield threat. Sokovi's very talented. I think Dandridge and Wiley will get some playing time. But we got Prothro in the slot. This guy is a beast. I remember watching him during the Georgia high school playoff games and in the championship game. He was a man, you know, playing with a bunch of little boys. He is that talented. He's tall. He's got great hands. I know that they're putting him in the slot. They want to put him out there as much as they can. He's too talented to be on the bench. So I'm very excited about it. I think he's a difference maker.
I agree, and really, what the Dawg fans should be thinking about is you may see 4 Georgia tight ends on the field at one time, but this not going to be your normal tight end formation. You may see Prothro and Elias Williams both split out, like they're a wide out going against those cornerbacks. So get ready to see a lot of tight ends. I think we're way under underestimating what Landon Humphreys can do. I think he's going to have a huge
Great.
year in the slot. And also, there's a kid from Columbus, Georgia. I just want to mention everyone. Walter Blanchard, he could be a wild card as a slot receiver getting some reps. He made an amazing catch over the middle during G-Day. I don't know if I don't know how much playing time he'll get, but we got some depth. And again, forget about the drop from Talyn Taylor. Everybody get over that. He is a 5-star receiver, and he will show that this year. So I'm excited too about Greg. So let's go in. Let's give our overall rating for the Georgia skill positions. What you got, Greg?
Quarterback room, I've been kind of waffling on this between a 3.9 and a 4. And again, has nothing to do with what I feel like is a talent perspective, is the experience perspective. So I'm going to go 4 with the quarterback room. Again, we just got to get some meaningful reps with Puglisi and Montgomery in those early games. So God forbid anything happens to Gunner, but got to have those guys ready to step up. Running back room, I've got us at a 4.3. I think that could be even higher. Again, the depth. I've said it 3 or 4 times now. The depth is important, and they're talented, very talented. Tight end room, I'm sorry, I got to give us a 5.
Oh,
I just don't think you have a better tight end room in the country with that talent, that speed, the ability to block and run jet sweeps and everything else. I'm excited about what that team, that tight end room can do. Wide receivers, I'm going to give us a 4 there as well. I think there's a lot of talent there. I really do. And again, inexperience, I get it, but I just feel like that with time and reps and these guys are working hard, and Kirby's not going to let anyone not be ready. So I'm excited about that team too. And I think it could possibly end up being better than that, especially when you've got somebody like, again, if Talyn Taylor steps up, which I believe he will. Humphreys, Canyon, Prothrow in the slot along with Sokovie. I just think it could be a really, really big year for the wide receivers.
And I'm gonna go with Greg's ratings. I love them all. I probably wouldn't have gone as high on wide receiver, but I'm gonna go with it. And I'm gonna say this: the question was, can Georgia be explosive? Damn right we can be explosive, and we will be in 2026. We've got the weapons, we've got the experience, we got the big boys up front to protect us. We're going to put some points on the board along with having a suffocating defense. So with that, Greg, I want to thank you for being on Big Leagues as a regular contributor. We'll come back and start breaking the defense down. Before we blink our eyes, it's going to be fall camp. So we'll be able to bring some breaking news from fall camp. And then also, let me remind you, if you're a Dawg fan, please subscribe. Hit that button. It's free. If you like today's comment, we'd love you to smash that like button and leave us as many comments as you like. And Greg, with that, as always,
Go Dogs.
go Dogs.